Yeet, and welcome back to the channel. This is Blind Ace, and you're watching Spec Piñatas. So we're green, and this is the last race of the TumPetty Spec Piñata League. We are currently third in points, and we would require a win to challenge for second place at this point. So let's see how this turns out. We've got a half decent start. We just got to maintain a close gap to first place so we don't lose that draft. So we're coming up to the chicane, turning in as early as possible so we can maximize it without cutting. And then we're gonna have to lift for this next corner coming up. He didn't lift as much as me. So normally that isn't a lift spot with warm tires. You could go flat out right there as long as you nail the line. And apparently he was able to maximize that a little bit better than me on cold tires. So now we're fast forwarding, just trying to be consistent. And then I have a slight oversteering situation. Just touched a little bit too much of the curb right there. Back to fast forwarding for a bit. Just trying to claw back that time and trying to get back into the draft. Because it's very important here in this track. It's more important to maximize that chicane, which he wasn't doing for the first half of the race, but the draft is still very important. Which I'm not doing a very good job of trying to catch again. So back to tucking our head down and trying to catch Turbo in first place again. He's not managing to pull away much. It's very slow as he pulls away, but we are battling back and forth for tenths throughout this entire first half of the race. It's just most laps he ends up beating me out by a single tenth once in a while. I'm losing him on pace. Well, he's losing me, but we're trading back and forth tenths, but he still ends up a couple tenths ahead of me after a while. So again, just fast forwarding through the monotony of trying to nail the breaking points and turn-ins. Until this situation happens with the lapped car. We barely squeeze by. Oof. Oh. And we bin that opportunity for a pass. I bet Turbo. We wait around for Turbo to take first again. I could have pulled away with that because that's technically a racing incident. But I didn't want the win in that way, so I let him take first again. I just got cold enough on that slowdown for it to matter. I was struggling with grip for that first lap after the slowdown. But after that sector, we had warmed up our tires enough that I wasn't struggling anymore. So right here I see something different on Turbo's line. He ends up cutting that right apex into the chicane, which he hadn't been doing before. I still cut it a little bit better, and I get so close to his bumper right here. This is probably one of the closest laps I did with him throughout this entire race. Right on his bumper, but still not close enough to even attempt any kind of move. And then I see it again right here, where he cuts that right apex just as I've been doing. But he does it just a little bit better, and he's finally pulling away. I think he saw what I'm doing at the chicanes, and he's gonna start doing it now, so I have no chance if he saw that. That was like the only edge I had on him, as we casually save it from a skid. Let's see if he cuts it. Yeah, he's starting to do it. So from here on out, that's as close as I get to him. He just keeps pulling away. The only thing that gives me a slight edge further into the race is traffic as we come up onto it in a bit. Most of the traffic pulls off to the side and they let us by without any issues or without any slowdowns, except for Carl. So we have a couple battles with him, which are kind of interesting. I did make a point on the previous race about wanting the traffic to not really let us by as easily, but I also kind of didn't want to battle traffic and have them block me. You'll see what I mean. So we got a massive run on Carl right here into turn 1, but the pass isn't going to happen there, so the arc takes him wide, and I try to get the over-under on him, but he cuts back across the track to block me. So then I take a little bit of the curb right here to take the inside line, and then this happens. Oh shit, he died. Seems like it took a little bit too much of the curb and it shot him sideways, and he overcorrected. I gave him tons of room into the apex right there, so maybe he just took the curb to try to maximize the arc, as he had 0 arc with the line that I left him. But unfortunately, he couldn't hold it onto it, so it shot him out to the tire wall. And a little more drifting from me, trying to catch up to Turbo. As you can see, we're still managing somewhat of a gap to him. He's not fully pulling away, but I'm not managing to catch that draft again. So I'm going to use this final break in action before we catch up to Petty Carl for the second time to plug my stream for the last time on these videos. Now that the series is over, I'm not sure what I'm going to stream on Sundays, but I'm going to try to be consistent with that and stream something at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern at Twitch TV/BlindAceG. So same username as here on YouTube. Maybe I'll do some casual Assetto or start another playthrough of Need for Speed Underground. So just stop by and drop a follow. So I get a massive run out of the chicanes on Carl here, but not enough of a run. I end up touching the curb a little too much right there and get unsettled. We're going to fast forward the straight and try for the inside right here, but Carl sweeps way too low into the inside. I have 0 space on the apex right there. I try to go on the outside right here, but he tracks back out to the outside, blocking me. So my only choice is on the inside right here on the braking, and I easily get him, but I have to slow down a lot more than usual. getting even more separation to turbo up ahead. That's kind of what I was saying before about me wanting a little bit more of a challenge to get by traffic. Not in the sense that I wanted them to challenge for the position the way that Carl was doing so right there, but I wanted them to maintain their line and not go out of their way to go offline and start braking to let us past. So we're coming up for the end of the race here, and for the final lap, I'm gonna slow it down and let it play out. I won't do any talking, just to show the lines. And that's it. That's the final lap of the final race of the TumPetty Spec Piñatas. We ended up third in points with about 165 points, and we're wiggling with turbo right here. Celebratory wiggles. Catch you guys next time. Oh, we still got people running again behind us. I was still about 2 seconds off from them. Petty. I've been turning up for a long time. I've been smoking gas for a long time. For a long time. I gotta get these bitches off my mind. I gotta make these dimes. I gotta do what I do. I gotta make sure I make these right moves. Mama told me to get it.